Coming up next, right here, only on the Fortminorproject channel, I'll be giving you guys my thoughts and opinions on WWE SummerSlam 2016 pay-per-view review. You know what's coming up next. Roll that damn intro.
Inside me, a light was turned on. Then I was alive. If you close your eyes, your life, a naked truth revealed. The dreams you never lived and scars never healed. In the darkness, light will take you to the other side. And find me waiting there, you'll see if you just close your eyes.
Alright, so without further ado, I got some of the results, most of the results on the phone here. And starting things off where we had the kickoff matches, and getting right into it, we had Team Uso and the Vaudevillains. You know, this one was a pretty good matchup for what it was, where most of the SmackDown teams were able to go head to head, and in the end we had Team Uso take out Team Vaudevillains, and in the way where it was supposed to be American Alpha trying to get the win, but the Usos basically kind of took over that and then were able to have themselves actually take the win. So it kind of seemed like the Usos were going to be able to like have a little face-off between American Alpha and stuff like that, but we didn't really get to see that. So overall, that was the team that was able to get the win. So a pretty good start for the kickoff, and that was one of the other kickoff matches that were available, since it was crazy enough a 2-hour kickoff to say the least. Then the match, which actually would have been good enough for the main card, and this one, even though it's kind of a put together team where we had Sami Zayn and Neville taking on the Dudley Boys, and this one where we had the Dudley Boys basically having that miscommunication and the teasing of possibly having a split. Maybe that might happen soon, and then we'll get to see maybe Bubba Ray turn heel again, and then maybe have Divine as a face or whatever, and have those two go at it and stuff like that. But that remains to be seen, since we did see that, and that's what cost them basically the matchup, and have Neville and Sami Zayn get the win. So I do like that pairing. Hopefully it does stick between Neville and Sami Zayn for a while. I want to see where that goes. So they were able to get the win, and that was a good, enjoyable matchup for those two, for basically the first time pairing as a team like that. So that's really cool. Then when we had the start of the best of 7 series, where I thought this was definitely going to be on the main card, but it wasn't. It was on the kickoff. It was the last match to end things, where we had Sheamus and Cesaro. Again, really good stuff between the two. They have really good chemistry, and in the end, where we had Sheamus actually getting the win to start things off for the best of 7. So we'll probably see some matches on Raw, some on pay-per-views. Which pay-per-views are going to end on, I'm not really too sure about that, depending how long it's going to last like that, and how they're going to be able to deal with the matches. Are they just going to have it so close together each week, or are they going to space it out, which they should if you ask me. So Sheamus was able to start things off and get a win overall. Then when we have the main card for SummerSlam, where we had Enzo and Cass and Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens, this is a really nice start to actually get things ready, and I was actually taken by surprise on the outcome of the match, but I did like Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens as a team. They meshed well with each other, and I'm hoping like this will actually stay for a while too, kind of like Sami Zayn and Neville, but this one, I like where things are going between the two. So Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens were able to actually get the win, where I thought Enzo and Cass were going to do it since they were doing well. And then in the end, I believe it was a double team by Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens, like a pop-up powerbomb into a codebreaker. If I'm not mistaken, we did get to see something like that, which was dope there. So taken by surprise, but kind of not really, because when you have someone in the hometown, then you'll always get to win. So I guess that was in a way a little expected, but it would have been nice to have Enzo and Cass make their way home basically in Brooklyn, but that wasn't the case for a win. So Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. Not really all that mad about them getting the win, but it was a little surprising, so that's fine. So we'll see where this goes between Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens and see how long this will last. And I'm actually looking forward to see who else is going to be facing them next. Then when we have one of my matches of the night, it was a great match between Sasha Banks and Charlotte, where Charlotte had no help whatsoever. We didn't see anybody else different that would come out because, of course, she got rid of Ric Flair, and Dana Brooke was banned from ringside thanks to Sasha. So, with that being said, it was actually just those two going at it back and forth, and Charlotte getting frustrated trying to find anything just to stop Sasha Banks, and rightfully so for not only her but Sasha too. So, they definitely did a lot here, and surprisingly, in the end, Charlotte was able to get back her title. I thought Sasha Banks was going to stay champion for a good while, but the feud does continue, I'm sure, into Clash of the Champions, where we'll see the rematch or something, and then have Sasha win it back, but that remains to be seen. So surprisingly, Charlotte didn't actually win and get back the title, so it's going to be something to see where things are going to go now. I was actually not really expecting that, so interesting to surprise there for sure, to say the least. Alright, so then we had the Intercontinental Championship on the line. This was a pretty good match where we had The Miz and Apollo Crews, and The Miz basically eventually getting a little help from Maurice there. At one point, The Miz didn't even want to be bothered with the match and everything. It just almost walked out, so Apollo Crews was able to bring The Miz in, obviously, and then continue the match. And where I thought Apollo Crews was actually going to get the win, well, we did see the standing splash, if you will, from Apollo Crews. I thought that was it, but The Miz was able to come back with a skull-crushing finale and actually retain the Intercontinental Championship. So I was surprised with that one too. It was a pretty good match, and The Miz was able to retain and keep the title. So there's that. And maybe this feud will continue. I wouldn't mind seeing that and eventually having Apollo Crews win the IC title. I think that would be nice. It would have been nice to see that at SummerSlam, but that wasn't the case. So maybe that's another rematch we'll get to see at Clash of the Champions, but that remains to be seen as well. Then we get into my second match of the night. Depending on how you look at things, I'm sure it's probably match of the night for most people, but we had the rematch, John Cena, AJ Styles. Probably even better than the first match, but I'll let you guys be the judge of that. If not, just as really awesome as the first match. So yeah, with that being said, these two really did it all. They used anything that they can try and do, from their finishers to the signatures to the near falls and everything in between. And in the end, AJ Styles was able not to use a Styles Clash, but the phenomenal forearm just to make sure John Cena was put away. AJ Styles getting the win, which was awesome to see. I had John Cena as my pick, but AJ Styles money, hey, not mad whatsoever about that, since I am a fan too of AJ Styles more. Not really the biggest fan of John Cena, of course, you know that for me. So AJ Styles getting the win, which was cool to see. And we'll see what happens now, what's going to be next for AJ Styles. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I know John Cena's looking to take some time off for his show. I'm pretty sure of that pretty soon, so there's that. And yeah, so a really great match. One of the matches on the night next to the Women's Championship match, if you ask me. So AJ Styles was able to get the win. Can't go wrong with that whatsoever. Then when we had the tag team titles, which are on the line between the New Day and Gallows and Anderson, and that's what I was hoping to see new tag team champions, but that wasn't the case. And basically, in the way where we had interference in this one, so the New Day was able to keep the titles. We had Jon Stewart, which basically wasn't needed again, if you ask me. We had the return of Big E, basically getting the save for the New Day after the attack and stuff. So I'm sure this feud is definitely going to be continuing until maybe we see the new tag team champions. But I guess that was a way of saying the New Day just winning there, even though it was basically by disqualification, just to keep their run going for the tag team titles and to keep that reign in. So I'm not really too mad about it, but just the outcome and how it wasn't really needed whatsoever. You can have so many disqualifications in one show. That's just how I see it. I don't really care for too many of them. You can have one, but when you have multiple ones, it just gets really annoying after a while. So, the New Day winning, I guess, is fine, but the outcome just wasn't needed, and that was kind of terrible and a little booty, if you ask me. Then we get into the WWE World Title. We had Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler, and this one, was actually a pretty good matchup, to say the least. In the end, where we had Dean Ambrose was able to retain Dolph Ziggler in a way, coming close in this one. So not too much being able to be said here, but Dean Ambrose, in a way, kind of seemed like he was playing a little bit of the heel in this one, just being a little aggressive and trying to stop Dolph Ziggler as much as he could, and using the referee as his help and everything, making sure Dolph Ziggler was put away. So that's what he was able to do: hit the dirty deeds, get the win, retain, and then we'll see what happens with this feud overall. But Dean Ambrose was able to keep the title. Alright, so then from there we had the next women's match where we had a return here on the opposing team, on Natalia's team, where we're supposed to have not only with Alexa Bliss, but Eva Marie, and she was supposed to be there, but we all know she's suspended, so the excuse now, she couldn't take the crowd, she has anxiety, and now she's on vacation, so basically have it as she didn't get suspended, so just remember she's on vacation for 30 days, so I was done after that. And we didn't get to see her, obviously, so it's going to be like until 2017 is when we're going to see her debut or something. But that was a funny excuse. And then what we had on the opposing team with Carmella, Naomi, and we had the returning Nikki Bella, so we were able to see her on the opposing team basically, and that one wasn't too bad seeing Nikki Bella return. I actually enjoyed that and actually hearing her theme song more than Eva Marie's. So Nikki Bella was able to get the win and with her return there. So there's that, and I'm sure she's going to be staying on SmackDown, which I guess is only right to kind of make sense since Eva Marie's out and everything. So that's fine there. So we get to find out that answer, which show she's going to be staying on, most likely SmackDown Live. So, it's okay to a pretty good match, I guess, if you will. Alright, so then where we have the next matchup for the Universal Championship, Finn Balor and Seth Rollins, was a really enjoyable match. Again, another one of the matches that I did enjoy the night. Yes, even though the name is stupid, and the title design for the Universal title could have been done a lot more better. It's basically like the WWE title, but it's red and kind of like a little bit like the women's title. So now I'm thinking the SmackDown women's title might be somewhat the same, kind of expecting that. So it is what it is, I guess. And I saw many different championship belt designs that could have been able to be the design, but that wasn't the case. So I don't know. I'll have to get used to it, but it is what it is. So definitely leave your thoughts. How do you feel about it? What do you think it should have looked like? And definitely let me know in the comment box. I love to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions. So in the end, we did have, yes, the Demon King Finn Balor get the win. I thought that was fine. I'm sure Seth Rollins will get the belt later on, but Finn Balor winning and being the first ever Universal Champion is cool with me. So I'm curious to see what he's going to be doing with it, and what other things are going to be seen out of Finn Balor now as the Universal Champion. So that's going to be really cool. His entrance is awesome. Seeing that at SummerSlam like that, and then seeing him win the title and having it being a new thing for him. So that's really cool. So we were guaranteed either way a new champion. This is something different, but however the title design could have been done a little bit more differently. So there's that. Then what was supposed to be the US title match between Roman Reigns and Rusev ended up being a brawl. Roman Reigns just being the holy hell out of Rusev, and then coming back and then ending up spearing Rusev and everything. So the matchup didn't actually get started. So it was a little weird. I was hoping maybe Stephanie and McFoley, or one of the two, will actually come out and actually have a stipulation or something. That didn't happen, so that was a little weird. So, stuff like that. I mean, I don't really care for it too much. At least if you're gonna do that, have the match get started. But I guess it'll be started at another time. I wouldn't be surprised if it's on Raw for the U.S. title. So that remains to be seen. So we'll see what happens with that. But really no contest, so not too much to really say here. Then we have the big match, Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton, 15 years in the making, and this one was actually good for what it was until towards the end, where we had Brock Lesnar, of course, introducing Randy Orton to Suplex City. Randy Orton getting at least a RKO there, especially on the announce table, where we had the announce table spot. We almost saw two of them, but we only had one on that one, so that was dope and insane there as all hell. And in the end, where we had Brock Lesnar just really beating down and Randy Orton until he was a bloody mess, and basically where we have Randy Orton not really able to get up. Basically, we did see the F5 to Randy Orton, but he did kick out earlier, so Randy was knocked out thanks to Brock Lesnar shortly after that. And then basically where Randy Orton was not able to move, and that's basically where things ended, and Shane trying to check on Randy Orton to get F5, which is crazy. So that's basically how things ended for SummerSlam. A little bit on the fence on the finish, however, but it was a good, enjoyable match for what it was. So maybe there's going to be a continuation of this, maybe at another time. When exactly, I'll let you guys decide on that. So we'll have to wait and see. But I will say this, yeah, it was a good match, and also too, I did like the set for SummerSlam. That was cool that they changed that. We did see also the ring post. That was a little nice touch where they changed that to like the LED board and stuff. So that was cool. So yeah, overall, it was a pretty good SummerSlam. I will leave it as that. What are your own thoughts and opinions overall? I know how to deal with a little bit of a cold here, so I was trying not to be in here not too long of a video. So what are your own thoughts and opinions overall on SummerSlam 2016? Leave your thoughts down below. And until then, and only then, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Whatever the hell that may be. Peace.